Hey guys, it has been a very long time, no YouTube video. Here I am now though, procrastinating, almost at the end of my first semester of fourth year. I have a lot of side hustles going on top of school. So of course I have Ryerson. I'm taking my 5 courses instead of 6. That's a huge relief, which includes capstone. And as for jobs, I am also hustling. I am a TA. I tutor privately other fashion students. I teach at an uptown sewing studio on weekends. As for dance, I'm the president of the dance club here. I'm part of a dance company in Toronto. And I also am doing a bunch of contract side projects for other fashion students / fashion up and comings. Fourth year is very different from any other year of fashion because of how individualistic it is. So my story will be nothing like other people's and vice versa. It's a very same structure, but how it evolves, it's very different for everybody. But this is from a fashion design turned fashion comm perspective, because when you're in fourth year, you either do a capstone or a collection. In this case, comm students typically do a capstone, a research project, and then designers typically do a full collection. And even though I was on the pathway to do collection, I decided again in third year to switch to a capstone because it aligned more with my goals of wanting to do graduate school and also go work for a design firm or be an R&D. That means I had to trade out my mandatory collection course for capstone instead in my timetable. However, I still have to take all the other design courses. I'm still getting my essential skills I need for design, which will give me the exact same degree, but I've just kind of diverted slightly in the path to get there. So my capstone, I like to call "This department is for humans." My research questions for my project are: how can we redesign the retail shopping experience in fashion to be more trans inclusive? How can we encourage diverse gender expression? Because I hate the genderless trend of truly being less, that in order for something to be unisex, it has to be a gray potato sack. Because that is not liberating. That is just creating a uniform that doesn't threaten traditional femininity or masculinity. So it's a really intense research project because I'm doing a lot of primary research, which is interviews. So aside from my capstone, the actual structure of the course is not just reading and interviews. It's creating creative aspects to help explore these areas and really fine tune what your solution or what your final project will look like. The first semester is all experimentation called iterative design. So you create these iterations of fields to do with your research in order to explore it and draw new questions and new nuances that you never would have considered if you hadn't made the project. So for my iterative design project, which comes in 3 stages, each one I did a photo shoot to kind of explore how maybe advertising would work for my store, my pop-up shop I'm creating, my dream store. And I experimented with how the models were posed, how they were dressed, the lighting, their makeup, the setting they're in, to try and see and subvert conventions of fashion advertising to really display a more expressive and fun human way to experience fashion. And my next project, I had to write a comparative analysis, which is very academic based. I had to read 12 articles and write about 3 different areas to do with my research. And I wrote about trans discrimination in public spaces, unisex fashion, and also intersectionality and how feminine masculinity is enacted in different ways across different cultures. Because feminine in Japan is very different than what feminine in Canada means. The end goal of my capstone is to open my experimental pop-up shop for a one-day event to see if all my ideas for a gender-more shopping experience really do encourage that. I wanted to challenge people to use. I want to raise questions, and that's exactly what I'm trying to set up to do, to hold this pop-up shop for my one day. So I'm really excited. Yeah! As for the other courses, I just briefly mentioned them, but CAD, super important for designers. You can't exactly wiki how to CAD on Gerber. It's not going to come up. Also, the software is thousands of dollars, so you can't teach yourself it at home. You need to have the resources. So thank you, CAD. Thank you, Karen. Thank you. As for VisCom, Adobe Illustrator 101, I'm so happy I know how to use AI, but at this point, it's just a make-work course for me. Then my liberal is called Music and Pop Culture, super bird course. Well, for me, because I was raised on music. Both my parents are music teachers. I know too much about music, so this is the perfect course for me. Lastly, my other course is fashion and society, so sociological perspectives on fashion, a lot of different theories. It's very heavy course, but I enjoy it. It's just the fact it's 3 hours long on a Monday, and I have class all day that day, and it's draining, and it's a lot of writing. So as for what I'm doing right now, back to capstone, for my final project of first semester, I am doing a video shoot to create just a few minute long videos to try and explore my brand. So kind of I am interviewing customers that I see being a part of the brand and exploring values of the brand through it, such as fluidity, humanity, authenticity, unapologeticness, different ideas that I attach and associate with this pop-up shop I'm trying to create. As for collection, I can't speak to that because I am still always in the lab with my design friends, my family. Within the first month, you have to decide what your collection is. You need to have illustrations, you need to have fabrics prepared, you need to have your target market, you need to have conducted like interviews with other designers and your target market. And then you go right into muslins in November, and one is due every single week. Not just single garments, but whole outfits, because you need to do a total of 5 outfits. Yep. What do you guys have due this week? You 25 ideation, you said?
Outfits.
Yeah.
So, really front and back, so it's really 50 for each piece. It's
Good times.
really like 150.
And then you have to do all your different fabrics, and if you have overlays like I do, so I have lingerie, overlays, and jewelry. It's a good time.
Oh yeah, are you making all the jewelry too? Yee.
I made sure that
We're starting to roll in here. We got Alexa Tran.
Also,
How's it going? Did you decide your sketches?
No, I'm here to show you one more time.
Oh, okay.
You're my creative director.
I am? Oh no. We're almost done. Hey Joe. Are you trying to be sneaky? No, I'm not trying to be sneaky. I'm being very obvious.
No.
Hey, how's your collection going? Is I?
I'm doing things in the wrong order because I did these sketches. I'm not going to be able to use any of them because I haven't testified technique yet.
Oops.
I don't even know if any of this is possible.
Are they done though?
They're done. There's 25 of them.
Okay, there we go. That's what matters, right? That they're done. Welcome to 4th year design.
My hair would not look
Time
like
to be
that.
alive,
So
right,
bad.
ladies? I'm loving my life. It's 2 hours of sleep, Cynthia. Yeah.
It's literally 2 hours.
So something interesting that came into my life was being a TA, a teaching assistant. I am the TA for Textiles 1. It's a first-year fashion course everyone has to take currently. I know, all 200 and something of you. And I mark all of the labs. I really hope this opened doors for me in the future to be employed at Ryerson. I love salary. I love benefits. So I hope I get hired full-time eventually at a university, if not this university. We'll see. While it is like, it's focused work because you're marking. Sometimes I have to create assignments as well. It is nice. Yeah. I really enjoy teaching. I hope you just enjoyed this little update about what I'm doing with my life. I only have one more semester left and then I'm graduated to a big girl job. Yay!